I don't know, but when I was doing that just now, I came over here and accidentally snorted. I was like, like trying to get my life together.
Speaking of snorting, Percy earlier dropped a little bit of pre-workout on his hand. He dropped all over his hand because I like bumped him or
Did
something.
he snort the pre-workout?
I did. It was just a little bit, Kylie. It was a little bit. It mostly just got all over my face. And then later I was blowing my nose and blue boogers came out.
Oh my God, that's so foul.
I really don't think that this podcast is gonna be very deep. That's actually super interesting because that's not what your wife said. OMG.
This is around the time that I welcome you back, hopefully, or if you're a newcomer, go listen to everything else and then come back here to That's
Not
What
your
Wife
Said. Of course, if you're seasoned, welcome back. We've missed you, just as much as I've missed your wife. And if this is your first time, then I hope you brought some.
We'll go
loot
easy
or
on you.
something.
We'll treat you gentle just like we did Karen.
Poor
Karen.
can't walk now, They call her.
Wait, like every lady in the school is just like showing up on crutches. I'm like, God damn, like what?
It was Glenn, You know that guy. Wait, have you ever seen, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because I just watched it this weekend, 50 First Dates,
Yes.
where they're like, everybody at the beginning is like, oh my God, we danced underneath the stars, then we kissed in the rain, and then he took me on his boat, and they're like, what was his name? And they're all like, Henry Roth. But we're like, Glenn Carmichael.
I find it quite odd casting to cast Adam Sandler as a player, but
I know, I agree. I completely agree with you.
What's he
I was
playing?
shocked.
Cards?
What was funny is I really haven't seen the movie in so long, like very long time. So at the beginning, like I kind of forgot Adam Sandler was in it. I just kind of clicked it on, and I was drunk. It was Super Bowl Sunday. I was waiting for the game to start, And so I just kind of clicked it on, and then everybody was like, "Oh my God, he's so handsome." I was like, "Is Pierce Brosnan in this movie? Like, who is this guy?" And then it's fucking Adam Sandler, and I was like, "You
Pierce
guys are fucking kidding me."
and you're like, same age range.
I was like, "Oh," but. Yeah. Okay, dude. Well, how have you been? You brought the bottle of wine in the room.
Yeah,
So I suppose
well,
not so splendid, but
no, actually, normally, yes, this would be, my time of the week to just get drunk, but it was celebration because I started my new job last week and I'm loving it.
Cheers to you.
Here's
Look,
to me.
you can see me in the glass.
I felt like stressed out these last few weeks, just with the new rhythm and new routine, like getting used to it, new names, new people. It's just kind of overwhelming at first.
Yep.
New faces, new wives, the drill.
That's every weekend, my guy. Come on.
My guy, come on.
Sounds the right. It's my guy.
That's supposed to be how we de-stress.
That should not be an added stressor, my dude. I know these bitches be giving you headaches sometimes, but come on now. The good kind of headaches. Ooh.
How about you? Are you drinking this week or what?
I am drinking. Yeah, I'm definitely drinking this week. It's been a week. It's been a tumultuous time. So I've maybe had a casual glass of red wine every now and then. But yeah, new things in life. You started your new job. You're like literally, Rachel was telling me about how, so you like sell apartments, right?
Right.
Okay. And so Rachel was like, yeah, like everything's great. And then she was like, yeah, tomorrow we're going to go. She's like, this is cool. We're going to go to this apartment complex and pretend like we're a prospective buyer. And I was like, what? So you're basically like going undercover? And I told Rachel that she was a PI because that's something I've always wanted to do. I just want to pretend to be something and not actually be it,
Always just the goal. Yeah, we shop our competitors and it was super fun because I was like, at first I was like, I want to use a fake name, but like they're supposed to take your ID beforehand.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you totally should have. If you could have used a fake name, what
well, here's the funny thing. I don't know. I've always really loved the name Bella Like, I just
Oh
feel
my
like
God.
it's a different class. That's literally what I named my car, was Bella. I know. She's a classy bitch, okay? I haven't fucked anybody that backseat.
Wait, like Isabella, Bella for short? Or what's the vibe here? Or like Bella,
Just
Bella
Bella.
or die?
Oh, you know what? Now that I say that, I'm starting to think Twilight, and it's kind of turning me off.
Were you Team Jacob or Team Edward?
I think I was Team Edward until they cast for the movie. And then I was Team Jacob. Because I'm shallow.
Wait, until they cast it for the movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I
until it
don't
was
like Robert
Taylor.
Pattinson.
What's his name?
Taylor Lautner.
Taylor Lautner.
Lautner, yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I was Team Jacob. I was all for like I was like the lust. I was like, let's go. Like, that's your true love. Like, fuck that Edward guy. He wants nothing good for you. Like, goodbye.
Oh, wow. You were very, very one way.
I was very one.
I feel like I was very slight, like very like back and forth on it. I was like, well, but
I just remember like people literally wearing t-shirts to like the shows or just like out and about, and it'd be like Team Edward, and it'd be like that really intense like face, you know.
Dude, it was
with
a
the
whole ass
jawline.
thing. And there was so many like older women that were lusting after, like Taylor Lautner at the time was like 18 or 19, I think. And he would just
He
like
had
say in
bitches.
interviews, he had hella wives. I'll tell you what, we don't got a thing on Taylor.
Hey, Taylor Lautner, if you're listening to this, contact or email. That's whatyourwifesaid@gmail.com.
But in reality, I could have used a fake name because the guy did not ID us, which is a big no-no.
Rachel literally went to. Did you go to the building I lived in?
Yes, I
Or
did,
no,
but we didn't get to view it, remember?
Oh.
Yes, we went there. I went to where Kylie used to live, and at first I was so excited because I was like, "Oh yeah, I know where that is." And like, my boss is new to Kansas City; he's only been here for like a month or two, and I was like, "Oh, like I know where that is. That's so cool." Like I was kind of giving him directions because we got lost, and then we get there. But I was like, you know what? Come to think of it, I never went to the lease office. Like it's not here. So we ran out of time and had to go back to the office because I had a tour later. But it was funny because I was like, I know where it is. And then like we could not find the lease office.
I don't know what it is.
I was like, oh wait, I just came here to like fuck up Kylie's apartment and that's it.
I was thinking like, wouldn't it be so funny if they turned my apartment into like the model apartment and they were like, oh, we're gonna go into 203.
Rumor says it's haunted.
Oh my God.
I would
Full
literally
circle.
just walk in and be like, yeah, I'm definitely getting a bad bitch energy here. A BBE.
Big dick energy is coming. It's seeping through the walls right now.
Like, wait, do you feel that?
Can we get? Wait, what?
You walk in, you'd be like, do you feel that? Do you? It's a big dick. I'm feeling that.
That's a big dick just walking behind me every room I walk into. The one room because I'm the smallest.
Brush my
apartment,
shoulder.
I just feel dicks everywhere. Why is there a penis just on my face? The visual of that.
Wow.
That would be so funny if they took you into that room and they were like,
I don't even know if I'm gonna get to go.
can we see apartment number 213?
Specifically, please. I heard that there's a big dick energy there. I'd really like to check it out.
I heard how do you say the big dick energy?
The energy of the, what do they call it here? You guys speak big dick?
What do you call the you know this thing, you know, this one, the wank? Oh, it's the
Wait a second. If you know the terminology of wank, you know dick. You know dick.
So accusational.
I'm just saying. I feel like you would.
But you're a PI now. So after I literally told you that, I Googled how to be a PI in Florida, and it told me it was like, you got to have 5 years of experience and a degree. I was like, we're done.
You should just apply anyway.
I know, right? They're like, you know what? Get over here, you
They'll
dumb
be
bitch.
like, you have 5 years experience, and you'd be like, oh yes, wank.
Yes, how do you say 5 years of this? The wanking?
And then they go blue.
This blue jay, you know? And they're like, you got a job.
They'd be like, all right, got a social security card on you or what?
I want to be like a cool woman spy detective who just like wears wigs, and I'm like, oh, hey, big player, tell me about your political Russian fucking secrets. And he's like, oh, anything for you. And then he like tells me all the things. And I just like, use my brunette wig and like
You imagine just
Deep
like
into the
literally
night.
just saying it specifically like that. It's like, just tell me everything. There's always a point where they're like trying to get more information, but it's real risky. So they're like in the bedroom, the nightstand. It's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to risk you coming back in. Can you just like tell me or what?
You just fucking tell me, or hey guy, just fucking tell me what's going on, man.
Give me those
Come
bank
clean.
transaction numbers. Let's go.
But anyways, I did just want to say congratulations on the new position. I know I probably already said that last time, but
It's
it's exciting. I'm also moving into a new chapter, if you will. I know, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel,
Yes, YouTube.
we're in my really cool like hip spunky bedroom, but I'm gonna be packing all this up by probably tomorrow night.
I'm kind of glad I didn't find an apartment when I was apartment hunting because I fucking hate moving.
It's the worst. I literally realized within the past 365 days, without counting the little hiatus there was in Orlando, I've moved 3 times. Send thoughts, THOTS, and prayers, please.
Many of the first one, please. That again, that's THOTS. And
Again,
my
that's
number
promo
is
code THOTS at bleep out
horny
my
bitch
apartment right
1
here.
2 3 4 69.
1, 2, 3, 4, 69.
Oh,
You know the one. But yeah, just transitioning my life.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I am too. I'm excited to be doing something a little bit more in alignment with my degree and what I'm actually interested in. I don't know if y'all know what an MLM is. Multi-level marketing, aka pyramid scheme.
Yes, I was gonna say I know it by the street name.
The street lingo.
Because it is a drug. It's a fucking drug.
Oh my god, yeah. I was really good at it. This little friend MLM friend thing, but it's literally it forces you to, okay, let me just say this. So I live in Clearwater, and Clearwater is like the hub for like Scientology, and I've been doing a lot of like watching documentaries and stuff, and as I'm watching documentaries about what Scientology is about, it's like it's a cult, obviously everybody knows that, but the certain traits that it has, like it made me realize, like, I mean, and I had already felt this way. It didn't take a Leah Remini documentary to make me think this, but like what I've been in was like essentially like in some aspects like a cult. Like I felt forced away from my family. I felt forced away from my friends. Like ultimately I did have a choice, but in that like organization, I felt like they had told me this was the only way to be successful. So I worked my ass off, like to the point where I would work 6 days a week, over 70 hours a week. And I've had to miss a lot. Like I had to miss friends' weddings. I had to miss birthdays and, just seeing friends. And like, I'm a young person, and, I understand the grinding and you need to work hard now. And I completely I'm for it. Like if you're starting a business, work for it, like, but work for something that you love. Don't put your head down and just try to work for somebody else when you know in your heart it's not something that you want to do. And I mean, ultimately I'm so grateful, and I wouldn't change anything, because this, like literally, if I hadn't have done this, I wouldn't have met Rachel. I wouldn't have met Mark. I wouldn't have been able to.
That's actually a perfect segue, because I'd like to back it up just a little bit more to how, like, explain kind of what we did, like, before you did this campaign. First off, if you're confused right now, we did talk just a little bit about it in episode 1, but like not very much at all. So like we actually wanted to kind of dive into literally our jobs when we met each other and how cultish they were. The first campaign that we did, how we met, was we sold makeup, and basically we just solicited businesses. Like we went business to business and we tried to sell makeup to anybody we ran into, essentially.
We would literally just like shove makeup into people's hands and be like, buy this, buy this. And I think about it sometimes, Rachel, like we would literally go walk into the back of dealerships.
Yes. Where we're not supposed, it literally would say, we were encouraged, even if it said do not enter, like, yeah, just go in there. What are you gonna do? Like, just act like you fucking are meant to be in there. And then sometimes people would not bat an eyelash. Other times people were like, the fuck do you think you are? Get the fuck out. Like, because it is a safety thing, you know?
It is totally can you imagine doing that now with the pandemic and everything? Impossible, right?
Without a smile on my face, there's no way I could have done it. There's no fucking way.
No, I completely agree. But yeah, we used to go into backs of dealerships. We used to Just like
Mechanic shops.
the one that makes me cringe a lot is the nail salon.
The nail salon.
Because I'll be in the nail salon now, and I'm just like, if somebody walked up to me right now with a bag of makeup, I I don't know what I would do.
What was
I would be the one entertaining. I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, what else you got? Okay, no, I'm good. That would be me.
I would be well, I hope I want to be, but there was a girl in a nail salon one time who bought like 13 bags from me. That was my unicorn. But what was the rule of how we like worked? Every door,
store, floor, person, nook, and cranny.
Nook and cranny. Yeah.
Yep.
We talked to everybody. I think about it in every job that I have had since. And I'm like, we used to walk back into kitchens in fast food restaurants. Like when I was at Pizza Hut, I was like, there was a person that came to us sometimes, but he worked at a local bakery and he would just take his baked goods like down to the stores.
Okay, that's sweet. That's a sweet.
I would bought from him every time.
Yeah,
I was like, I would have probably bought makeup from people, to be honest with you, but that's what I like. It's always something I think about now.
I think about it like too, just like when I'm in different places, I'll like be in a Target and I'm like, I cannot imagine just like looking at like frozen vegan food and just having somebody be like, oh my God, did you get one?
Okay, like, grocery stores were bad.
I hated grocery stores.
We would just walk by people, look at something in their shopping cart and hope to God you had something to say. Like whenever they had beer, it was easy. It was like, part of your house? You knew it was my birthday, right? But like...
Can you imagine somebody coming up to you at the grocery store saying that?
You remember what you always used to say? Is if somebody was holding flowers, you'd be like, oh, you got me flowers? And then they'd be like, well, no. But it was a great entrance because they'd be like, they're for my girl. You're like, oh, perfect. Check it out. Got some makeup. You should get this with your flowers. Like, and the saddest part of this whole story is that it fucking worked. It
literally worked. People were so dumb. We made so much fucking money.
Kylie specifically. I really met standard most of the time, but Kylie was a unicorn of her own for sure. She's just so fucking good at it. And that's what made it so hard for you to leave, I feel like.
I was so good at it. It made me so, and then we switched over to a new campaign and I was the best.
Yeah. And making way more money and working less hours. Because we would merch is what we called it into midnight, 1 o'clock, because we would start going to bars.
Oh my
God. The first time you told me that, it blew my mind because I was like, it makes sense. But then I was like, wait, do you remember we had our trip in Oklahoma? And the first time you told me,
Tulsa.
Let's go out to some bars. It was like Tulsa. That's right. It was like past 10:30 or something. And you were like, oh, let's go hit up some bars now. And I was just like, wait, we work all the time. That's what hit me. That's when we worked
all the time. It was way too much. I honestly, like, I'd be very down to go back to Tulsa with you just for fun.
Me too.
Because Tulsa was dope. But like, oh my God, we literally, and that's the thing too, is that type of environment, it tells you that if you're not constantly doing something that you're very unproductive. And these past couple days, I've been like figuring out stuff with moving. I've been packing. I've really just been decompressing and like actually having time to go to the gym and like cook and eat healthy.
And take care of yourself.
Like a thought will cross my mind. It's like, you're being really unproductive and lazy right now. And I'm just like, whoa, like, I cannot believe that I've been like programmed to think that if I'm not constantly talking to people or doing something or just like like I'm being so unproductive. And it's just like been a really strange like awakening. So yeah, but that's how Rachel and I met, is by literally just going into the night selling bags of makeup and walking.
Ladies of the night.
Ladies of the night. There was one specific memory I have with you. So there was a night that we were at a bar and we were taking a break and you got mac and cheese.
I know exactly what we're talking about. This is in Wichita.
Okay. I think it was in Wichita.
First off, cheeseburger, mac and cheese. And 10 out of 10, if I knew the name of that restaurant, I would tell you all guys because it was amazing.
It was fun. The people there were super nice. And I think we got a free shot or something. I don't really remember.
The bartender was just super cool. He was gay and he was just like chatting us up.
Yeah, he was fun. He was fun. But was that the same night that we were at that bar and there was like the stripper poles?
Yes, because that was at a different
bar. Okay, it was
the
same. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was the same. Okay, but do you remember that other bar that was like to the left and it was cold? I remember, and there was like stairs to get up there, and like we kept having to go in and out or something.
It was
like
a ramp, right? It was a ramp.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. I don't know.
That one was really weird, actually. I don't remember merching much there because it was like more kind of.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was weirdly set up. The bar
It was
itself.
I remember there was like a big like thing and there was like the bartenders in there. It was weirdly
Yeah.
set up, but for some reason like that night is so ingrained in my memory. But there were nights where we didn't get back until like 4 a.m.
Because you guys have to remember, like, we were merching everywhere within our area. And so on weekends, we would go out of our area because you can only work an area so much. And so we
Before
were
getting like
driving
kicked out or the
to,
cops called.
yeah, yeah. We were driving 2 to 3 hours places. So, like, by the time we were done merching in places, we were driving back and we were getting back at like 3 a.m., if not later or
If not
earlier.
later.
It was, and then expected to go, well, then Sundays, which if you didn't make your standards, you had to work, and we still had conference calls. Basically, the reason that I felt that it was such a cult is its integration into your personal life. Like you don't have a personal life anymore. Like,
Absolutely not.
and that's how the way that they do it is just so sneaky. It's just like you send in personal goals, and it just is like a way to like keep control almost. It was just such a weird feeling, and it's weird because you don't like it happens so quick that you don't, and then like you look back and realize all, like you said, all the weddings you're missing, all the time away from family and friends, and it's just crazy.
I've had a realization like a lot of my priorities have changed and a lot of things in my life have just changed for the ultimate, best, I would say. And it's like,
Best for you, you know.
yeah,
Whatever you
and
value in life, like if you want to work 80 hours a week, fucking go for it.
yeah, and but the thing is like I just wasn't passionate about what I was doing, and I know what I'm passionate about, and also like I don't want to miss anything more. Like I already did that.
Let's just get another refill because this is bringing back memories.
I know, right? But I don't want to miss more than I already have. And like I'm still super young, but like I have a lot ahead of me,
Yeah.
like if I want to have kids, I would not be able to do that in that line of work. Like
Yeah.
that'd be ridiculous. I'd go broke, like I wouldn't be able to go sell bags makeup or go do whatever. Like, so I was just like, you know what, my priorities have changed, and I'm not proud of the work that I'm doing. And, of course, getting to that high level that I did, people are like, well, you're so successful, just keep going. And I'm like, that's the thing, is I'm at the level, I'm at the top right now. And I still don't feel like I'm still not proud. And I don't think I've accomplished anything. Like when I got into the management position and then they handed me the plaque, like the other girl I got promoted with, like she started crying and like getting so emotional. And like, she was like, oh my God, I'm so proud. I felt nothing. And that's when I knew I was like, I don't know if this is for me. So yeah, I just, I'm really excited for like the next chapter and everything that I'm going to take. And, MLMs like work for a lot of people. I think people can be really successful in them. There's plenty of people that are really great at them. You have to be really focused and everything, of course. And, I was really grateful.
Very independent and like self-driven. I don't know. I still just don't think if you want to be in like a healthy relationship, I just don't think that it's doable. I would say that. I would back that.
No, I agree. I don't know anybody that's in that isn't dating somebody else in that, or that is dating somebody that's not in it. Like, so I don't have a good example of that. But I mean, bottom line, I was grateful to work with all the people that I did, and I'm super happy for the experience. And like I said, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have like 90% of things I'm grateful for to have in my life right now. So I was just gonna say, do you know who TNWYWS is?
I do not. I've never heard that name before.
Okay, so I'm like super into murder mystery stuff. There is this woman named TNWYWS who was like super good at MLMs, and she was like super high up in them and made a fuck ton of money. And she had 2 little kids, and she was pregnant, and her husband was a psycho dude, and he was like trying to create a new life for himself, and he had a girlfriend, and he was like trying to divorce Shanann, and she didn't want it. Basically, he killed Shanann, killed his 2 little daughters who are under the age of 5 years old, and put them in like these oil things and just stuffed them in there. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, what oil things?
Like he like worked on, I don't even know how to describe it. They were like these big cylinder things that could just like barely fit a person.
Oh my God. Was there oil in there?
Mm-hmm. They like drowned.
How did he kill them before that? Did he kill them before he put them in there?
I think he killed the wife beforehand, and then he just kind of dumped her body in there. But the little girls, he didn't kill them until he closed the lid on it. Isn't that crazy? Dude, it's so horrible.
I can't imagine drowning on water, but drowning on fucking oil? That's just
Horrible.
That is so, and being 5, that
I
is
know, 'cause
terrifying.
literally he's in prison and like he's the worst human ever. But there was like a whole bunch of documentary. That's why I was surprised that you haven't heard of it, because there's like a lot of documentaries coming out. There's I think it's on Netflix. It's called like American Murder or something. But I don't know. Every time I think of MLMs now, I think of Shanann Watts and like that whole story about how she was murdered and stuff.
Clearly
Anyways.
she wasn't working enough then.
Yeah, right. But that's the thing is like, I don't want to not live my life and then get murdered by a crazy person. Not saying that that would happen, but like,
Right. Speaking of trash men, I actually have a write-in, and this is going to be our Toss the Mic segment.
toss that mic. Toss that mic.
So this is a long one, so you'll have to bear with me. But last week we talked about it was a great episode. We just talked shit on men and them doing stupid shit. And we talked about Tinder a bit. So this kind of puts both together. Okay, so here we go. So I downloaded Tinder just for fun. I saw a girl swiping at work and I wanted to join. While swiping, I saw a guy I knew of from high school. He slid in my Tinder DMs and we decided to grab a drink to catch up, even though I only knew of him and not actually like knew him. Anyways, we were texting and he seemed really fun. We were going back and forth, joking around, and I was super excited for the date. We get there and have a normal date for a little while. I mean, he was a little cocky, but like nothing crazy. There was no awkwardness and we were having a good time. Then the waitress asked if I wanted another drink. He said, "Hey sis, do you want another one?" And referred to me as his sister the rest of the date to the waitress as a joke. He was just being so smooth and charismatic, laughing to me about it. So I was like, whatever, he's just being weird. Then I tell him I forgot my ID, so thank God she didn't check it. And he said, "Oh, they know all the girls I bring here are over 21. I said, "Oh, so how many girls have you brought here?" And he was like, "Oh, you're only like the 4th or 5th to this restaurant." LOL.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's
Then
so
he
weird.
proceeds to ask me what my number is, and I shoot it back at him and say, "What is your number?" This number is in body count. And he said, "I lost track after 150. And he had only had sex with 4 girls in high school, so it had all been recently. I said, "Oh, how do you manage that?" He said, "Well, for example, that waitress, if things didn't go well tonight or I was here alone, I would definitely be taking her home." Then proceeds to call me his sister the rest of the night. He's grabbing my leg and being a little too forward. Then talks about all the hot girls from our high school that he had fucked, literally bragging about how hot they are. I'm just trying to have a good time because the other conversation was good and I kind of didn't realize what was happening because he was so charismatic and acting so smooth. I was just kind of like mind fucked. LOL. Then he says, "Okay, we're leaving." I'm like, "What? I'm having a good time. I want to keep drinking." He says, "No, it's time to go home." Pays the tab and walks out. So I follow him and he was parked right out front and I was hella far. So I let him drive me to my car because it was so damn cold out. He immediately grabs my face and starts kissing me, and I was tipsy, so I kind of just went along with it for a second. Then he starts grabbing me super inappropriately and kissing my boobs and grabbing downstairs, and I was like, "No, I thought we were just kissing. Good night. I'm not going to sleep with you." And he was like, "Come on, I know you want to," and just kept going and convincing me to come to his place after repeatedly saying no. I finally just got out of the car and said, "Nah." He proceeded to text me, calling me a prude. He made fun of me for sleeping with a guy that turned out to be a sex offender from high school. She's like I knew that he was gonna be one in high school. LOL. And then said, "What are you trying to have a relationship? Because I definitely don't want that. You missed out on some of the best sex of your life." We equally ghosted each other and we haven't spoken since.
Wait, there's so many parts that I wanted to interrupt you.
I know.
Wait, what? Okay, wait.
Yep.
I already forgot. Did she meet this person on Tinder?
So, okay, she had known of him in high school, supposedly.
Oh, okay,
just like
okay,
of him, didn't know him that well. And so then he slid in. Like, that's how he slid into her Tinder, was like, "Wait, I know you." Which, by the way, that's a good way to slide into somebody's Tinder, is just be like, "I know you." Because then they're like, they could have just ignored her DM, but now it's like, "Wait, how do you know me? What?" But yeah.
That's a scare tactic. But no, that's okay. There's so many things. First of all, like, why would you say like the 4th or 5th girl I brought to this restaurant? Like, that's just such a gross.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, okay, like I would just get up and leave. I'd be like, well, then go call them up. Like, it's just a weird thing to bring up.
That's what's hard about it too, is like when I heard the story, I was just like, okay, why didn't you leave after the sister thing? But, you know, she was like, well, he was joking. Like, it was really hard to read because
the sister thing I can see that would be like, oh, like that's the thing is like if you're ever like, like okay, like weird guy, like maybe that's just like maybe it's like a red flag. Like that's not. I wouldn't say.
I would call
like,
it a yellow flag.
I don't think it's like grounds for leaving right then and there. I just think it's like grounds for keeping your guard up and making sure that you like block him after, you know, you have a drink or whatever.
Like, get this free meal, max up this fucking card, this bill.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I don't, I could see why she didn't leave like after the sister thing, but it's like so strange. And then like the whole thing about
body
like
count on the first date.
That's so, I don't even like talking about body counts because it's just like doesn't matter. It's like if you're like with someone and I feel like you shouldn't have to know like how many people they've slept with unless you're like insecure. Like if you're just like, well, like nobody ever just like wants to know that, you know. It's not like, well, I just want to know for my own knowledge. Just like, no, like there's,
that's
you know,
true.
You're like insecure about it somehow. Like I don't care. Like,
well, or you view it a certain way. So like if a guy tells you he lost count after 150, then I know that like all he wanted was sex, and I'm probably going to have my guard up about that. If you value sex, if you have different values, like that's where it gets dicey.
I agree. But I mean, if you're talking about that on the first date, that is just like, this is a specific date to have sex. You know what I mean?
100%. Are like, you clean?
Yeah, that's pretty much what that question is asking. Better question.
Yeah, just get right to it, buddy.
Saying that she missed out on the best sex of her life, like I fucking doubt
Disgusting. So baby girl,
I fucking doubt it,
good
dude.
for you for literally fighting him off at the end of the night and doing your own fucking thing. And hopefully you'll have better men in your life soon, because fuck that.
Yeah, props to you, honestly, for being able to exactly like fight him off, because that shit's terrifying. Like,
it is.
I cannot, like, that is trauma right there. So I'm sorry. I hope you know, are okay. I'm sure you are, but I hope you're, you know, okay. And that hopefully you can have a positive dating experience, but I can also totally understand if you never try to give men a shot again, but
if you want to go for girls, like, I get it.
Go for it. Try everything.
Yeah.
Damn.
God. On that topic though, it's pretty ironic because me and Kylie were talking literally like right after the episode that we just dropped. So episode 13, which if you have not check that out, go check that out. Hilarious. But about men just being dumb and doing stupid things. And literally, ironically enough, right after we record that, shit happened to both of us.
So after that episode aired, it was literally that day. I was at the gym and I was on the treadmill, and there was this girl there, and she was hot. Not gonna lie. She was very attractive. She was also like, not to like, you know, say shit or anything, but she was wearing like really tiny spandex shorts where half of her ass was literally, her ass cheeks were out, and she just had a sports bra on. But she had these like really, like her whole body was tatted, and she had like super long like black hair extensions. Like she was really cute.
Wow.
And she
a picture.
Yeah, I will. And then like she was using the machines, but she would literally like bend her entire ass over just to like change the weights. And I was like, okay, girl, like, me, I always wear baggy clothes to the gym because I'm just like, don't look at me. But
at the same time though, like I know that she was dressed weird, but it's also just like that literally just got said to me a little bit ago. It's like, okay, but don't dress for the attention then. It's like, no, she can wear whatever the fuck she wants to the gym. Like she's at the
gym. Yeah. It's like, it's whatever. So that's why I was like, I'm not trying to like shame anybody. Right, but I was just like, damn, sis, you're putting yourself out there. Like for
that's what I mean, to bend over. Like, yeah, she was
like definitely looking for a fucking. Let's just say that. But
she's like, I don't have time for Tinder. Just gonna bend over really quick.
I was like, fuck. So anyways, I was like on the treadmill, so those are like in the back, so I like get a full scope. So I'd see this girl, and I was like, oh my god. So I texted Rachel. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I like did what we just talked about, like went up to her and like said some shit or something, because she was like just was out there. And
I love how I just sexualized her too by saying you should have taken a picture. That was a joke for anybody that's about to come at me.
I didn't even hear you say that.
Yeah, I
take a picture. Okay.
No,
but But okay, yeah. So I was like making a joke like that to Rachel, and Rachel, we're just texting. Oh, okay, haha. And then I was like, oh, the thought plickens, Rachel, because she was using these weights, and then all of a sudden there's a guy in the picture, and this guy comes up, and they're talking, and she's like laughing really loud, and I like visibly saw her like pull out her phone and be like, what? And then he was like pull out his phone, and it looked like they exchanged numbers. So I was like, oh my god, somebody beat us to it or whatever. A guy already, I was like, classic. We just talked about this, fucking guys, you know, hitting on girls in weird ways. But I was like, apparently she's into it because she's like talking and laughing. So I was like, well,
again, though, read your reaction. Like clearly she was laughing really loud. Like, yeah, she was interested.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, it works in this situation. It worked. Right. So I'm just on the treadmill. I was walking, I was texting Rachel, whatever. So then I go into this room place and I was doing the machine. Now it's just turning into a gym podcast for anybody.
That's how you work this equipment.
Yeah. So I was doing that. And then all of a sudden I like feel her presence, and she comes, and you're not supposed to do this because everything, it's called social fitnessing. She sits in the machine right next to me. Okay.
Right. They're supposed to be like all up. Yeah. I got you.
There's supposed to be space, but she sits right next to me. And I was like, I wonder if that's the girl. And like, I tried to look over without being awkward. And I was like, oh my God, it's totally her. So then I just like, I keep working out, do my thing. And I don't stay on machines for too long because like, I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Let's get to the next thing. So because she sat right next to me, there wasn't another machine ready because she was just on her phone. So there was a girl like waiting for me to finish. So, but she was like kind of pretending to look busy.
That's what your wife said, by the way. Continue.
Yeah. Just waiting for me to finish. No, she still doesn't have to wait too long for that. You know what I mean? But I'm only there for a minute. I don't know if she's going to do it in another 59 seconds, but she's waiting for me. And so I'm banging it out. And then the girl who's sitting next to me, all of a sudden that same guy comes around and he's like, he like scared her. And she was like, oh my God, how'd you know I was over here? And I didn't even hear his reaction. I know. So I was like, are you guys dating?
I already don't like that.
I know. So I was like, what? Okay. So I was like, whatever. I was just going to clean off the machine. The girl was like, oh my God, thanks so much for cleaning it for me. I was like, dude, it's my sweat. Like, I got you. So we're just like, you know, quick banter and I like leave the weird couple. So then this is when I'm at the row machine. Okay. So I'm doing my thing. I'm like listening to my fucking earbuds and I'm not paying attention to nothing else. I'm just rowing. The guy, without a mask on, first of all, walks. So if I'm facing this way and I'm doing the machine, he walks right, you know, directly this way, like behind me.
So opposite.
And I could tell that opposite. Wow.
Okay. I realized
so opposite, you dumb bitch.
The way I talk on the podcast, I'm like, when I listen to it later, I'm like, they can't see you, Rachel. They can't fucking see you. So I'm trying to get better about doing the auditory.
He's walking in the opposite direction the way I was facing. Okay, thank you. So I could like feel him looking at me. Like I could just, you know, when you can like feel somebody staring at you or looking, I could feel him. So I just like, I obviously didn't like reciprocate the eye contact and I just kept looking forward. And then all of a sudden he comes up from behind me and on my right side and he was like, hey.
Should clothesline that motherfucker.
And I was like, hi. And he was like, yeah, hi. And I was like, what? And he was like, are you trying to work out your abs or your biceps? And I was like so caught off guard. So I was like, my biceps. And he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So you're kind of doing it right there. So if you want to work out the biceps in the most optimal way, just make sure you don't cross your thumb over when you're pulling the machine. And I was like, okay, thank you. And he just like stared at me like, are you going to do it?
Also kind of weird. I feel like why would your thumbs make that big of a difference?
I don't know. But
okay, go on.
But he literally was like, are you going to do it? And I just like stared at him. And then he was like, no, like this. And touched my thumb and like moved it back. And I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, thanks so much. Like, appreciate it. Like, thanks. And he was like, okay. And he was like waiting for me. He's like, okay, try it. And I was like, I'm super good. Thanks. And he was like, okay, cool. And just like walked away. And we literally just talked about the other day, like, don't you just want to tell that guy to fuck off as soon as he walks away? And like, you always think of things to say. And like, as soon as he walked away, I was like, do you always give like unsolicited advice without a mask on to young girls at the gym?
It's like, you don't work here.
Problem.
If you work here.
He literally touched my fucking thumb. Yes. I was like, don't fucking touch me.
I'm sorry.
like,
And even with something like that, and even if you were a trainer or whatever, and trainers will do this before they touch you like that, because sometimes you do, you ask for permission. You say,
yeah,
can I go ahead and show you? Like, do you mind? What a fucking weirdo.
he just did it. I know. And I was like, what? So I told myself, I was like, if I see that cute tatted girl again, I'm going to ask her if that's her boyfriend or if it's just a guy that she met today that was just like fucking weird, because I was just like, I'm so curious to know if like you guys are actually an item or if he's just fucking strange. So yeah, I just thought that was so
Did you see
like,
her again?
I didn't see her. I saw that guy and he walked around and I think he left. Like I was his last stop.
Good. He should fucking leave. He shouldn't come back. Trashy men have no age limit or age restriction, because the same fucking thing happened to me with an older gentleman. So I was at a bar. We went out to dinner for my friend's birthday. There was three of us there, and we were eating dinner, and this guy kind of walked by and he waved at us and he was like, hey guys. I'm just like, I don't know who the fuck this is. So I was at a bar where the friend used to work. One of my friends used to work there. So I figured maybe she knew him, and she kind of knew who he was, but I don't think she like knew him. So she was like, he's like, I'm trying to make friends or whatever. He kind of introduced himself. And then we were just like, okay, cool. Like we didn't introduce ourselves. Walks away. And then she said that he was a regular there and that like, for the most part, like he was pretty sweet or whatever.
Mhm.
So we're like, okay, cool. No worries. Walks by again. And then he actually bought us a shot. So of course we're like, yeah, okay, cool. Come over. And then he says, oh, I'm just making friends again. And then we go ahead and introduce ourselves. You know, he bought us a shot. You know, the least we can do is say thank you and be like, okay, this is my first name, whatever. That's all you get.
This is my first name, nothing else.
Bella.
And it was Bella. Nice to meet you.
Bella, nice to meet you.
I've never heard this like pseudo name from you before.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of random. But
When you come to visit me, side tangent, when you come to visit me in Jacksonville, I'm only calling you Bella.
can we talk in accents? Like go out and talk, because I just want to be Bella, and then I could have a fun English accent. That's what I want.
Yes, as long as I can be like have a super unattractive French accent and just walk around and be like, "What are you doing? What is this? Why are you driving on the other side of the road?"
We'll have guys buying us shots, and you'll be like, "But what is this? What is it?"
But what is this? This is but you call it a blow job?
You'd be like,
Blow job in cup?
in the wank?
Do you do the wank in the cup? I don't know how to drink that. No. Well, okay. I guess if you insist.
I'm just kidding. A little bit.
You call Scooby-Doo snack? You call house shop? Well, it came from like my parents in Russia. I can't. So
like my
divulging.
sister, we had to put down, threw her in well.
My sister, we threw in well. You see, in
God.
Soviet Russia, we throw sister in well. I can't. I'm literally so bad at accents. I don't even know why I'm trying.
You're actually
right
so
now.
good. I love it. I love this one that we always go back to. Like that's the one. That and like Tony.
Tony. Okay, I'm sorry. I totally just thought of a story, but I want you to continue with your horrible men story.
Okay, we'll come back to it. So shot, introduce ourselves. Cool. He again kind of hangs out for a little bit, but walks away. So I was like, okay, cool. Like that's cool that he's like not staying. Like he's kind of just making rounds and like trying to get to meet people, whatever. Time goes by. I know. Time goes by. And then he comes back over with another shot, and he gets this like this pickle juice, like it's kind of got a spice to it shot. And I was like, okay, cool. We take that, right? We're kind of all talking at first, but then my two friends kind of started talking about something, and they were kind of on the other side of the table. So he's talking to me, and he starts by talking about the shot.
He's got you cornered, is what you
got me. And I wasn't even in a corner. That's how good they are sometimes. And so this spicy shot he was talking about, and he's like, I'll tell you what, like that's he's like, it's kind of gross, but it'll clear you out. And I'm just like, okay, dude, like whatever. He's like 45, like mind you. So he continues talking about his fucking regimen and how he drinks vinegar every day and it just cleans out your system. And I'm just like, hee, cool. Like he wasn't being like
cleans
gross.
out your system, honey.
Dude,
that's the last thing I want to talk about at the bar.
If you think that's the last thing, wait till I tell you this. He said, I'm at the age where, I've had a colonoscopy. Bro, not a pickup line, by the way.
If you're trying to just say that you're an older, experienced man, don't bring up the colonoscopy part. Maybe just bring up that you like have a PhD or something, or like own a business or something cool. Not that you are over the age of 35 and now you're required to get a colonoscopy by your doctor. That's so gross.
Go to a resume class and figure out how to brand yourself and market yourself better. All right, fucktard. So anywho, he continues saying how I used to be ripped. Like I was a wrestler and I worked out all the time. Cool. You peaked in high school. Now you won't shut the fuck up about it. Neat. Next. And then he was like, but then it get to the day where I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of working out so much. So now all I do for working out is I just have a lot of sex. And here's where I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. But unfortunately, I didn't take our advice and fuck this guy. Oh, I'm not gonna fuck him, but fuck off this guy.
Politeness.
Yeah,
fuck off.
politeness. Because I was like, he's a regular here. My friend knew him. She doesn't even work at this bar anymore. I didn't owe this guy shit. But anyway, he says that. And I'm just like, that's when I kind of got quiet. I was like, And he was like, I mean, it's like, he's like, I'm single now, so I don't get to have it all the time. But I swear, he's like, the next girl that gets it, it's going to be good for however long it is. It's going to be, I mean, and I'm just like, shut up. At this point, I had pulled my phone out. I was looking at my phone and I texted Kylie immediately. And I was like, speaking of which, like, here's this guy that did this shit to me. And then as I have my phone out, he pulls his phone out and he's like, so can I get your number? Bitch, you just told me you had a colonoscopy and you're trying to get with me. I'm like 20 years younger than you. And then, so of course I was like, I have a boyfriend. And of course he did the classic, well, what if he messes up? What about when he messes up?
Oh my God, barf.
I literally looked at him and I no smile on my face whatsoever. I was like, he won't. And then he just was kind of like, at that point, I really thought he was going to walk away. He did not. He sat there and talked to me about how he was abandoned. At this point, I'm just on my phone. I literally was just like,
oh my God. It's like, get a clue, boy. There's like no chance of you salvaging this interaction at all.
No.
Like, leave.
The final part of my story is the best part because I told them what happened and they were like, ooh, not fucking cool. Like, we're not going to let that slide. He comes back by later and I just didn't even look at him. I was just over it. And actually I was like facing the other way anyway. And I didn't feel the need to turn around. And so my friend was like, you can leave. And he was like, did I do something? Like, and she was like, we don't need those kind of like inappropriate comments here. We don't want that. And then he was like, did I do something wrong? And she was like, you did. Like, she did it just like that. She was like, It was
and
great.
A description of Rachel's face.
Sorry. Yes,
She's
please.
Being how do you say como se dice, sarcastic and like scrunching and smiling her face and being like you know,
and like, you really still can't imagine what my face looks like. You should really just go over to YouTube because we're gonna have video episodes now, and you can really just look at our faces more.
Just look at my face. But
we're like awkward.
Wow, we're having a moment.
Woo, this wine is getting.
Oh no! Do I need to come up to Kansas City and, you know, tame you a little bit?
I would want nothing more.
I know. I wish I didn't even say that because now I'm like,
damn. I know. Now you're like, well, damn. Like, how much are flights? Let me just look really quick,
dude. I swear. Yes,
we're still over men, and they can fuck off.
We're over just the unsolicited behavior, and if somebody is clearly minding their own business and you have to find new ways to engage yourself in a conversation with them, with somebody that you don't know and you can tell that they're not interested,
they're giving you bad vibes,
if they're giving you one-worded answers, maybe it's time for you to leave. Or you can even simply ask them, hey, are you into this conversation? Or like, am I somebody that you want to talk to? Because they will tell you straight up. So
we don't need to talk. We're not gonna waste our breath on it anymore because it's fucking stupid and we shouldn't have to tell people this. But I will say, my friend did say, like, after she had told him to leave, she was like, we're in a generation now where like we have to step up and basically like make sure that men and these guys know that this isn't okay and like stop it. So I thought that was cool.
Right.
And it's
we're in a place now where we get to
that's true too.
Kind of, you know, control the conversation. We don't have to be polite.
But yeah, speaking of men that we might actually like want to hang out with.
Oh my God.
Valentine's Day? Question mark.
Oh my God, Rachel. Oh my God. Are you doing anything for Valentine's Day? Because I know that some people are like, fuck that holiday. But I'm just like, you know what? Any holiday is a celebration for something. And I love love. So like, if there's a holiday that celebrates love, I should.
If there's a reason to drink, I'm there.
Well, it's like people are always like, if you can't show your appreciation for your partner every day of the year, then why wait till Valentine's Day? It's like,
I
no, that's not what it's
know.
about. It's like, if you love Jesus, why isn't every day Christmas? You know what I mean?
Good point.
Like,
That's a good point. I
if
honestly
you love to drink, why isn't every day St. Patty's Day? You know? And if you love candy,
Cinco de
why isn't it
Mayo.
Halloween?
if you love dressing like a slut, wait, that's me.
Oh shit.
I feel like the hatred for Valentine's Day definitely came from single people. And like I
Oh,
speak this because
1000%.
that was me for the longest time. I was like, I fucking hate Valentine's Day. Like all I ever get is a stuffed animal from my parents. Like I'm over it. I hate this holiday.
Oh my God.
And honestly, like I still don't love Valentine's Day. Like I don't hate it anymore, but I'm not like, oh, Valentine's Day is coming up. Like we'll probably go to dinner and do something, but I honestly, like I bought a card and that's about it. Like I don't really have any plans.
Yeah. And like, see, somebody that I used to be friends with is recently in a new relationship. 8 years her junior. Is that how you say it?
Or senior. Wait, junior.
No, she's senior.
I was
So
literally
Rachel,
like, who is this? Yes.
I think, and I don't usually like to speak for people, but I think we can both kind of say it as somebody that we used to kind of talk with. But anyways, this chick,
this fucking
I fucking told her that me and Mark were gonna go camping for Valentine's Day. And she was like, ugh, I can't believe you celebrate that commercialized holiday. And I was like, fuck you, whatever. I love him. I don't care. And then we went to Target to get fucking cat food or something. And we walked past the Valentine's section. And they had like a bunch of cute shit there. So I was like, oh, let's just go look. And I ended up getting these like, oh my God, you would have been so proud of me. They're like little white chocolate golf balls.
Oh God, that's awesome. That's great.
So I was like, oh my God, he'll love these. So I got them. And then we'll just
make
call
sure you
her.
Gift them to him when you're in your skirt.
I already gave it. Oh my God. I already gave it to him. Naked,
Darn.
you know. But
That was better.
Oh yeah, she was like, oh my God, look how cute this is. Like she was gawking over all the cute stuff. And I was like,
because now she's in a relationship.
well, I was like, well, she said that shit like that day. So I was like, do you just hate Valentine's Day because you've never had a good Valentine's Day, or because you actually believe that it's commercialized? And she's like, well, I've just never had a Valentine. Like I wish I could be into this like kind of goopy stuff, but I don't think, you know, my partner is into that. So I just haven't brought it up. And I was like, don't fucking project your insecurities on other people when they're happy about them. Like
also,
if
newsflash, every holiday is commercialized.
Every
That's
holiday,
capitalism.
it's like, I understand that you think that Valentine's Day is commercialized. Okay, whatever. I get it completely. It is, you know, everything is, but it's a celebration. Like, why wouldn't you want to celebrate the person that you love? It's the same thing that you do on their birthday. You know, it's like you celebrate them.
Also, Galentine's Day, bitch.
Exactly. You can celebrate Valentine's Day. But I was just like, the hypocrisy. And she was like, well, I am into this goopy stuff, but like, I don't know if he is. So like, I haven't brought it up and like, da-da-da. I'm like, don't project your insecurities on others. Don't dampen other people's candles when you're fucking sad, when you don't have a light. You know what I mean? It's just like really is my biggest pet peeve when my voice just cracked. That's how much of a pet peeve it is.
I literally can't even talk about it.
But it's my biggest pet peeve when somebody is like very judgy and just very condescending about something when they're just simply insecure about it.
Exactly.
It's like, what is the point?
You're literally going against something that you actually enjoy. Like, where is the truth in that to yourself? You know, it's like
exactly like, do you? Yeah, and then it happened like a couple days ago. I like brought it up again, and she was like, "Yeah, I hate that holiday." And in front of somebody else, I was like, "No, you don't. You literally told me you'd be into all that stuff if your boyfriend was."
You should have called her out. I cannot.
I did call her
stand
out,
that.
and then the fucking person we were with was like, "Is that true?" And she was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Fucking own up to it." Like, and the thing is like, we were gonna go camping, but we're moving this weekend, so we're gonna have a Valentine's Day in our new little apartment together, which is I think
gonna be so
1,000
great.
times more romantic than anything would have been, because now we're being able to close the gap and stuff. But I just like the hypocrisy of people. And then somebody else said it too. They're like, "Oh, you're going camping for Valentine's Day? That's stupid." And they're going to fucking Disney World with their boyfriend. I was like, oh my God.
In the words of my kindergarten teacher, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
A fucking men.
And then the A to the B to the C to the D.
The D to the D to the wait. I feel a
hit a Fergie all the time.
Rachel, do you feel that? Do you feel it? Oh God. Oh. Oh.
What?
That it's that big dick energy. Whoa! Oh my God.
Wow. We have had, I don't even know what glass I'm on, but.
Can I tell my bonus story?
Yes, please do.
I was living in Hawaii. Shocker. But I was living there. And one time I went hiking. And I was with one of my friends. And we were hiking on this fucking weird trail. And Hawaii is like, everybody that goes to Hawaii is a tourist. Like, pretty much. Like, of course,
sure.
there's the locals and stuff. But like, most of the people there that you see that are doing shit are all tourists. So they come from everywhere. Basically, we're on this hike. And it's rainy as fuck. And it's muddy. And like, you know, you can barely fucking see ahead of you. But there was this guy sitting right in front of the trailhead. And we were like, oh, hey, how's the trail? Like, you know, is it muddy? And he was like, oh, well, in my country, in Russia.
Oh, no. Was he?
I swear to God. He was like, yeah, in my country, in Russia, you know, big storms like this, you know, grasping for the rock and you're trying to climb up the mountain or whatever it was, or like the hill, and the fucking mud and the rain is just dropping down on you. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's so dramatic. And he was like, luckily in Hawaii, there's no snow and blizzard and just, you know, storm, whatever, treacherous fucking behavior. And I was like, oh my God. And cause at the time, like, I felt like I've always like had a little Russian in me, you know?
Right.
And so I was like, I swear to God, like, if he brings up something about vodka, I'm gonna die.
Right. Yeah.
And he was like, it's like, I can't wait to, you know, go back to the hotel and have a cup of vodka or something. I can't wait for my wife to get down from the mountain. And I was just like, what? I was like, life is complete. Like, literally, I was like, I've lived. Like, if I can hear this Russian man talk about how he can't get back to his hotel, can't wait to get back to the hotel and have his vodka and just waiting for his wife to come down from the hike, like, I've lived.
This guy is a man's man, and I'm telling you what, never met the guy, but I know that he fucks, and he fucks hard.
He fucks. He wasn't even waiting for his wife, if you know what I mean.
That's what you should have been like. You're like, I'm sorry to break it to you. Your wife is actually in my hotel room right now.
Your wife? You've been waiting for her? That's because she's not coming down.
She already did come, though.
She went down. You know what I mean? So many puns. Jesus Christ. That was like literally from the depths of my memory. I remember that happening and I was just like, oh my God, that shit was hilarious. So I don't know how I've never told you that story because we've always talked about Russian people.
You know what? I'm going to do something really quick.
Okay.
I'm going to check our analytics real quickly. We do less than 1%, which means I don't know how many that would be, but less than 1% of our listeners are in Russia. So if this is you, man's man who fucks, I just want you to know that I want you to have the most wonderful Valentine's Day.
And if you need a Valentine, I'm not going to volunteer myself, but I'll volunteer Rachel.
Just Patreon and I'll talk to you there. It's patreon.com/yourwife.
Yeah, so I'm going to be moving on Valentine's Day. It's going to be very romantic, actually. I'm very excited. So
I absolutely love that. And I can't wait for the FaceTime tour that I get, hopefully before the Valentine's Day activities.
Oh my God, you guys, this apartment that I'm moving into is so fucking nice. Like, it's so nice. And we're getting like an extra bedroom, of course, for like the extra space and everything, but also like to have friends and family come and visit. So yeah, Rachel, 100%.
I'm raising my hand.
Little schoolgirl, you have a question?
Yes, Missy. I was just wondering what my assignments were going to be. And I just want you to know if I don't get an A, I would love to get a D.
Oh my God! Whoa. I have never heard that one before.
I'm feeling tipsy.
It reminds me of the days that we used to record on your kitchen table. And
one of my favorite, the episode itself was great, but one of my favorite times, like just recording, was on our birthday celebrations. Because we were just like so hyped. We were like, we're pre-gaming, we're talking, we're recording.
We were so excited.
And then we're gonna go get drunk. Yeah.
We're gonna have that very soon when you come and visit.
I cannot wait.
You want to send us off?
I would love to just send us off.
I mean, wank
to...
us off. I mean, send us off. Sorry.
So just tell you this word that they use. It's
How do you say the
Instagram. The Instagram.
The
you
Insta.
know?
Oh, the Insta with the picture. And
The picture, the cam, they go click. That would be TNWYWS. And then they also talk about the book. There's a book and you turn the
do you
page.
read? Do you open the book and you turn the page?
Yes, you open it.
Oh, is there? Oh, has something. Your face.
The face of book.
Your
Of
face.
course. The face of book. And that's not what your wife said. But she did tell me to go to the Facebook. She did say that. She told me something else
She
about
said-
the Tuesday. The Tuesday of the week.
Oh, she said, make sure you drink on the Tuesdays.
Oh,
And you also have to do
yes.
one other thing.
What's the other?
I cannot remember.
What is it? What is it? Oh, yes. You listen.
Oh,
You
yeah.
listen to the podcast.
Oh, the podcast about us fucking other people's husbands and their wives and all the fun things. Don't tell my husband. Don't tell my husband I listen to that naughty podcast, you
It's
know?
naughty, but also I just cannot wait to see you all next a Tipsy
Tipsy
Tuesday.
You've reached Rachel and Kylie's phone. Please leave a message after the beep.
Stop fucking my wife.